Happy holidays, everyone! Welcome to the channel. Today we are making 5 delicious but also very budget-friendly Christmas dinner recipes. I know that inflation on food costs is a very real struggle for so many families this year, including mine. So I wanted to do this video to show you all that you can have a special festive Christmas dinner with your loved ones without spending a fortune. So without further ado, let's get cooking. Question of the day. Pop it in the comments below. Do you prefer celebrating a white Christmas somewhere cold and snowy, or would you rather be somewhere tropical and warm, maybe on a beach somewhere? I think you can probably tell from my view out the back door which one I prefer. Isn't it pretty? We're going to start today's menu with a festive cranberry almond broccoli salad. This is one of my family's favorites and it's super easy. So the ingredients involved here are 2 heads of broccoli, red onion, almond, white cheddar, cranberries, and a mayonnaise dressing. So just start by chopping up your 2 heads of broccoli into small pieces. And then dice up about half of a red onion. This is red onion from our garden. As some of you know, we grew a ton of onions this year, and so this is definitely a very cheap addition to our salad. I love that I still have onions left at Christmas. And then some slivered almonds, about half of a cup of dried cranberries, half a cup of diced old white cheddar. And then we're gonna make my 1-2-3 mayo salad dressing that I use in lots of recipes. One trick with mayonnaise, you can see the price of Hellmann's there was $4.47. Look at the price of store brand mayonnaise. And in this salad dressing, you really can't tell the difference between what type of mayonnaise you're using. So 1 cup of mayo, 2 tablespoons of white vinegar, 3 tablespoons of white sugar, half a teaspoon of salt, and a 1/4 teaspoon of black pepper. You're going to stir that all up, and this will make probably more than what you need for this salad, so you can always save some in your refrigerator to top on other salads. Give that a nice toss, and you can definitely make this the night before or the day before to ease some of the stress the day of making your meal. And it just tastes so delicious, even the next day as leftovers. I love this throughout the rest of the week. Family favorite. Moving on to herbed butter and bacon cheddar biscuits. I love these warm, fresh out of the oven. They're just something different than dinner rolls and really easy and cheap to make. So you can see we're just using simple ingredients we have at home: flour, baking powder, salt, sugar, cheese, herbs, bacon, and milk. So start with 2 cups of white flour. You could also use almond flour if you want to make this gluten-free. 2 tablespoons of white sugar. 4 tablespoons of baking powder. This recipe is a lot cheaper than Biscuits boxed mix when you do it yourself at home. As well as half a teaspoon of salt. And then add a teaspoon of garlic powder. And about a tablespoon of any herbs you have on hand that you think might go well in this dish. So rosemary, thyme, oregano. And then add in half a cup of butter and just cut that in. I just use a fork and a knife to cut it in until it's kind of like a mealy consistency. To that, add 3/4 of a cup of milk. Add a 1/4 cup of crumbled bacon. I just get store brand crumbled bacon. Bacon's so expensive right now, $7 a pound. This is a way you can do it a whole lot cheaper. This entire bag was $5. And then half a cup of old orange cheddar. And then this recipe will make 8 good-sized biscuits. Just form them with your hands into a ball onto a greased cookie sheet. Obviously, you can easily double this recipe. I do all the time if we're having company over. And then bake on 350 degrees for 20 to 25 minutes. This is going to make your kitchen smell so delicious. There's something about garlic, bacon, and cheese that is irresistible, right guys? I find these taste a lot like Red Lobster biscuits if you've ever had them, but for a fraction of the cost. And then the herb butter, I'm just adding basil and oregano to regular butter. Give it a mix and it tastes so delicious on your biscuits, just something a little more fancy than plain butter. Next, we're making honey rosemary glazed carrots. Now my advice here is instead of buying baby carrots, buy whole large carrots. So this little bag of baby carrots was twice the cost of these whole carrots and I got double the amount. So I got 2 pounds of regular carrots as opposed to 1 pound of baby carrots. Peel those up and chop the ends off. Now I'm just giving them a rinse. And I'm going to steam these carrots in my steamer. You could also just boil them in a pot on your stove if you don't have a steamer basket. I definitely recommend stovetop versus microwave. The consistency is just so much better than a microwave. So you can either slice your carrots in rounds, or I like to do them in kind of matchstick shapes. That's what my kids like the best. So that's what we're doing today. Steam them or boil them for about 20 minutes until just tender. And then what really elevates them is fresh rosemary, pepper, garlic, salt, and honey. So these seem like an odd combination, but they make the carrots taste like the best restaurant catered carrots ever. So just add a teaspoon or so of your spices, a couple tablespoons of honey, and a handful of rosemary. Put it in a fancy serving dish, and then I like to top with a sprinkling of fresh rosemary as well to make it look fancy. Next, we're making Joanna Gaines' Friendsgiving casserole. This is so easy, and it's just an alternative to having to make a whole big turkey and stuffing, and a lot cheaper. And anyone I've made this for absolutely loves it. It's so easy. Instead of chicken, we're going to use turkey for this. So just take one long French baguette, break it up into 1-inch pieces. You're gonna bake this low and slow for about an hour on 200 degrees or so in your oven so that they really become like more of a crouton consistency. Next, take 3 tablespoons of butter. Melt that in a pan and add half a cup of chopped celery, half a cup of chopped white or yellow onion. And you're just going to stir that until they're kind of tender, translucent, and browned a bit. Then add 1 whole clove of garlic. 2 tablespoons of flour as a thickener. And then a sprinkling of pepper and a sprinkling of salt. I just kind of eyeballed this. And as well, some more garlic powder. Are you sensing a garlic theme to my meals? This is how you make it taste like restaurant quality for pretty cheap. Add the flavor. Then add in 1.5 cups of heavy cream. You're going to bring this to sort of a boil until it's nice and thick. Now take a 9x13 casserole dish, I love my Pampered Chef stone for this recipe, and add about 5 cups of shredded chicken or turkey is what I'm using today. And then top that with 1/2 cup of sour cream and spread that all out. No one said these recipes were low fat, you guys, just budget friendly. Add your creamy topping to that. Then you're going to top with your toasted French bread. Now take 2 cups of chicken broth. The way I do this cheaply is we make our own chicken broth. Same with the turkey I'm using. That's from a turkey we made ourselves and had leftovers of. Add in about 1/2 cup of melted butter to that and give that a good mix and a stir. Obviously, you could use store-bought turkey and store-bought broth as well. This is just a way I make the meal cheaper. And then pour all of that yummy goodness over top of your bread. Bake this uncovered on 350 degrees for about 30 minutes until it's bubbling. You'll see that it's toasty and warm and delicious when it comes out. And this is honestly one of the most comforting foods. I don't just make this for Christmas. I make this all winter long, to be honest with you. Next, we're going to make some fancy ice cubes to elevate our drinks. These are cranberry rosemary ice cubes. So, I mean, you could have wine at your meal or fancy juices or ciders, but that can all add up. If you're on a budget, I think this is a really fun idea to make your drinks fancy without spending a whole lot of money on fancy drinks, because you can just do these ice cubes in a glass of water and it looks perfectly beautiful. So just put sprigs of fresh rosemary into your ice cube squares and then top that with 2 cranberries each. They can be frozen cranberries or fresh cranberries, whatever you have on hand or what's on sale. Then simply fill up your ice cube trays and then pop them in the freezer for a couple hours.
Are still by the tree. They don't mean nothing till this here with me.
Don't they look so beautiful as a finished product, you guys? So Christmassy. Obviously, you could put these in cider or a fancy punch, but I'm just putting it in water to save money, and my whole family thought this was so fun and beautiful.
They don't mean nothing till this here with me. If you know where it is.
It flavors your water really nicely as well. We're gonna make these really cute and easy brownies that are peppermint and candy cane flavored. So I'm just using a boxed mix for this. Little hint, you can see the difference here in price in the store between the Betty Crocker for $3.27 or the store brand for $1.97. And I can't tell the difference in taste, to be honest with you. So that's what we're using. So just get a boxed mix for brownies and follow whatever the directions are on the back of your box. The back of my box called for 3 eggs and some butter. So that's what I'm doing, and I'm gonna whip those all up. To make it extra extra delectable, I'm adding a cup of dark chocolate chips that I have on hand as well. And then I'm popping them into my greased mini muffin tin. That's what it's gonna give them, that 2-bite brownie look. And you know, one box goes a long way. It's getting me quite a few mini brownies. So they're going in the oven on 350 for about 20 minutes. I'm using this really pretty plate to display I got for $4 at HomeSense. 'Twas the night before Christmas and all through the house. And on the back of it, it says, "Not a creature was stirring, not even a mouse," and there's a little mouse on it. My sister convinced me to buy this plate because I don't usually buy fancy dishes and it was $4, so why not do something special this Christmas? Now I'm taking pre-whipped Philadelphia cream cheese icing, and if you watched my recent couponing video, you'll see I had a coupon for this and got it at a really good deal. I'm just adding about a teaspoon of pure peppermint extract to that whipped icing. Just stir it in there. And then I decided I was going to pipe it on to make them look a little fancy. Obviously, you could just spread them on with a knife if you don't have piping materials, but this was really quick and easy to do. And then to add that festive touch, of course, we need crushed candy canes. So if you have broken candy canes around, I know a lot of my kids get broken candy canes or at parades or anything. We often have candy canes they get for free. So just pop them in a bag, slam them around a bit with your rolling pin, and that's gonna give you that beautiful crushed candy cane look for a very low cost. And I'm just sprinkling those on top. It's so fun to listen to Christmas music and get baking in the kitchen. This is like therapy for me, you guys. How about you? Now you could easily use gluten-free brownie mix to make these as well, which I'm going to be doing for myself since I'm gluten-free right now. And here we are with our entire meal. It was so wonderful to make this, and it only cost me about $30 for our family of 8. So a very affordable Christmas dinner and a fun time spent as a family. Thank you so much for joining me for a Christmas meal today with my family. It has been such a pleasure being able to relax and cook together. I wish you the best and hope you have a very happy holidays with your loved ones this year. Until I see you again, keep watching here to the side for some more videos from my channel. I can't wait to see you there. For the least, this is Jen.